Hello, everybody, and welcome to more CNC Rivals with Jackson and Kane. I kind of flip-flopped the title card, so it's actually Kane first and then Jackson, but don't tell anybody, okay? Because we do have Jackson as our first opponent. Which, this was kind of an interesting one, because they have a very expensive deck. Like, I mean, look at their opening unit is a Razorback. I mean, I guess if they wanted to, they could quote-unquote open with their commander power, because that's the cheapest thing that they have. And look at that, that's a 4-tech deck with nothing but aircraft. And no anti-air aircraft, it's just anti-infantry and anti-vehicle. If I were to have opened with laser troops, there'd be absolutely nothing they could have done. I mean, their two anti-infantry units are in their tech lab. And one of them is really expensive, and the other one is really dumb. So it was kind of a gimme. But, you know, they did come out with an Orca first off, because apparently they were expecting to never face War Factory opening. But, you know, by the time they can save up enough to send out a second Orca, my stealth tank is reloaded. And look at that. I won the first missile. They have their second unit on the field. Oh no, they destroyed one unit. Whatever shall I do? Okay, I'll destroy their second one and just kind of rebuild. Oh no, another Orca. What are they going to do? They're going to take out a wheel squad? That cost me 10 Tiberium. I am so sad to see that go down. It's fine. Boom, boom, boom. And they just... I honestly just don't know what goes through some people's minds when they do such tech-heavy decks, and they don't have any cheap units to throw out here. I mean, like, if they had even laser troopers, or, missile troopers, it would be a completely different story. Then they could at least start spamming and try to contest the pads, but they didn't even get their tech lab out, so they were stuck with really bad units. Because, you know, whatever, it's fine. I won. That's the important thing. Next up is Burner from the Peacock Alliance. And at least Burner has some decent opening units.
Building online.
You know, missile troops, fairly cheap. And shock troops, I mean, it's better than not having them, I guess. But, where my wheels are at right now, I saw their barracks, which is why I opened up a second wheel. Because whatever they were going to bring out, I knew that 2 wheels would be able to take care of it. And then they decided to open up their other unit type, which is the missiles. And right now, with them on the top pad and on the bottom pad, I should have moved my bottom wheels off to keep charging the missile. But unfortunately, I was too wrapped up with what was happening on the top. But, you know, once they overcommit on the missiles, I was able to bring out a chemical buggy, and I also was able to get out some fanatics to help clean it up. And oh no, look at that, they have an Orca. Whatever shall I do? Okay, this was actually really fun. Not only do I win the first missile, but they're chasing down my chemical buggy, and wait for it, and hello, stealth tank. Goodbye, Orca. Oh my god, that was awesome. I was bringing them toward my base, hoping that I could get them to bite, and they just bit the bait, and they just spent 70 Tiberium, and the Orca did literally nothing. It was great. And then they just, you know, keep spamming missile troops, because I've got 2 vehicles on the field. But they're sending their missile troops to where I have... Oh wait, they're sending missile troops into their ion cannon. I forgot that happened in this match. They were trying to get my stealth tank. And so I put out an Obelisk here because Obelisk, Wheels, and Orca are my daily bounties. So I wasn't expecting any vehicles or anything that the Obelisk could be specifically good against, but I had the 110 Tiberium and it was part of my daily bounties, so I decided what the hell, and placed it down. Okay, now we're getting into Jackson, and there are a lot of Solomon players today. When I shot these matches, but apparently Solomon's back in Diamond League, I guess, apparently. But first thing I do is I send my scout unit down to the bottom part of the top pad because that allows me to see the actual bottom hexes of the map, just to make sure they're not trying to sneak anything by to harass my harvester. And right here, right there, where they stopped their shock troops, that's what lost them this missile, if not the game. If they would have pushed my rifles with their shock troops instead of just holding the pad, then they could have taken out my infantry, and I would not have been able to contest as well as I did. But as you saw, I pulled back and let them charge the missile, and then as soon as my Razorback was on the bottom pad, I sent my rifle troops on the top pad. So at pretty much the same instant, they both got on their pads, which gave me a 2-to-1 advantage, which allowed me to take the missile easily and continue charging and then take the missile. Then they come in with they're overcommitting on the missile troops because I have so much anti-infantry, and one of them is an anti-infantry infantry. And you can see that I built an Orca because I had the cash, I had the time, I knew that they would not be able to push me off of the pad. And like I said a little bit ago, Orcas are my daily bounty for GDI, so I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and make it. And they just parked their Orca right next to my missile troops, and they're just firing on my riflemen instead of on missile troops. I don't get it. But take out Harvester, which was... No, actually, Harvester kill was not a bounty today, but either way, pretty easy win on that. Next game is Decapitator from No Alliance, everybody's favorite alliance. And this one shows you why you should not do a jump jet rush when the harvester is literally right next to the base, because I open with my scout unit and I don't even bother to chase him down because guess what? I had pop cap. I built another one. No, look, they're flying over over and around, and my rifle troops are just taking them out, no problem. And so Decapitator was smart enough and realized that they were not going to be able to do that again and actually get the harvester kill, so they built their own. I'm sure they were expecting to be able to win and get a double harvester because they do have a triple tech deck. The rest is just infantry, jump jets, missiles, and riflemen. And so they have only showed me anti-ground infantry, so I figured it was a very safe bet to open up my Razorback. And then right there, I noticed that they have second harvester, so I built an Orca to go harass their harvesters, because one of the best things that I found you can do against tech players is if you harass their harvester. You see how they built that missile squad specifically to harass my Orca? Because they need those harvesters to get to their tech units, because most of them are pretty expensive. So harass their harvester, it causes them to spend money that they otherwise would be saving, and that money is used to defend their harvesters instead of challenging the missiles. And then I just send my Orca in on a suicide run because the missile was almost charged. And actually, no, not this time. It was the other time. Oops, my bad. Sorry. Ignore that. But yeah, I've got my Razorback and my rifle squad just sitting there. Okay, so here's where I suicide my air units because they build Sandstorm specifically to take out my air. And so I make sure that it is far enough away that they cannot get to either of the pads. So that way I was secure in that win. It was to lure them away, which worked. Okay, Gobbles. Gobbles actually gave me a lot of grief. Gobbles was a very good opponent. One of the closer matches for the day. Not a lot going in the beginning, but I do send my scout unit to the hex just to the left, so that reveals their building. And it showed me that they had barracks, but it really didn't matter because they built their shock troops right away. And again, I'm sitting here waiting, letting them charge the missile until I have the advantage, which unfortunately they decided to build a second shock troop instead of something else, like a second harvester or something. So I split my units trying to, have two of the pads and they only have one, but then they they see what I was doing, and they were able to counter me and sent appropriate units to appropriate locations. And the shock troops are beefy enough that the North Razorback is not going to kill him in time. And so Gobbles takes the first missile and run my Razorback away, build some missile troops. Run away, Razorback, don't get shot. Get a few pot shots off with the missile troops on the pit bull, and then as they're moving their shock troops to shoot at my missile troops, I just take it out with the Razorback, finally clear off the bottom pad, and I try my best to keep 2 missile squads on the middle pad, protecting my Razorback, and then when I see the shock troops come in, the Razorback comes out to protect the shock troops. To protect the missile squad against the shock troops, which unfortunately like I said, Gobbles is a good player, so they're able to break my wall every now and again, so I had to retreat. But as you can see, I've got the 1 missile squad on the bottom pad there, and they're just leaving it be, not doing anything. Build another Orca. Again, it's my daily bounty, and I was hoping that if I could clean up their units, then I could harass the Harvester, which, as you can see, I'm able to do, and it gives me that second missile. They build pit bulls to go after my air units, when instead they should have built more shock troopers, because break the missile wall first and then send in the pit bull to clean up the Razorback. So they keep doing it in the wrong order. But those shock troops were actually giving me a pretty good run for my money, because they're just very efficient against missile troops. And then I am totally misclicking all the freaking time on that, and they managed to take out Orca and missile squads. But gave me pop cap back, so I built 2 missile squads right away, and they 2v1 the pit bulls pretty well. And again, that bottom pad, they just haven't been touching it at all. So I just come in, boost the Razorback, and it manages to take out the shock troops, and then I just do the little dance with the missile squads to make sure the shock troops can't get on the middle pad. And by the time they take it out, it doesn't matter, they don't have anything on any pad. I win. I just let my Razorback die just so they would feel happy about that final ending. So like, comment, subscribe, and come visit on Discord.